Why did that one kid get expelled? Running through the cafeteria at lunch naked with a backpack on that he set on fire. Didn't get expelled, but my friend did something similar. Tried to do the magic trick with the hand sanitizer and the lighter to make a small fireball. He was not fast enough and used too much hand sanitizer, lit both hands on fire, ran across courtyard and dived into fountain to put out fire. Witnessed by entire school and faculty uninjured. Only suspended for having a lighter and cigs, for lifting up his shorts and exposing his balls through the leg hole to the principal while said principal was escorting potential investors for the school. Okay, that's so funny, but understandable why he was expelled. I see nothing wrong with it. He brought a gun to school and posted it on Snapchat. Instantly got caught and expelled. Stupidest thing anyone has ever done, but also a blessing in disguise. A few years ago, a kid at the high school I graduated from posted a Snapchat video of putting a gun in his backpack with the caption, "Tomorrow everyone will pay." A bunch of kids told on him and the police came to his house that night. Oh, and it was a BB gun. Someone did this at the high school across town as a senior prank. When I was in high school, he brought a BB gun to school and had it in his waistband pretending it was real. Flashed it to a few people. Someone reported it to a teacher and the whole school ended up going into a lockdown. The guy got expelled with less than a month left in his final year of high school and I believe picked up a couple of charges. He kicked my friend in the butt so hard it broke his tailbone. He literally broke my friend's butt. A friend of a friend broke his finger after sticking it on another dude's butt. Not related, but wanted to say it anyways. Thanks for sharing this information with us, sir. He just kept shitting his pants. There was nothing wrong with him. He just kept doing it. Same place, same time, every day. Right after recess, when we lined up to go inside, he'd just let loose the fattest and wettest fart shit you'd ever heard. And it would echo through the silent hallway for literally everyone in the grade to hear. At first, we thought it was just embarrassing for him, but by the time week 2 came around, we were all convinced he was doing it intentionally. I have no explanation, because he was kicked out after like 3 months of consistently doing it. Edit. I nearly forgot. He would announce to everyone he shit himself by saying, and I quote, "Oops, I pooped myself." So one of my mom's friends had a son that did this. He would decide he wanted to leave and poop his pants, so his mom would come get him. His mom was so sweet and naive, she just picked him up over and over again without realizing he was playing her. She thought he was having stomach issues or the teacher wouldn't let him go to the bathroom. Finally, she was at her wit's end because she was tired of washing soiled clothes and missing so much work. My mom, a mother of 4, who could smell nonsense within a 10-mile radius, told her the next time he did it to bring him a change of clothes and send him back to class. She took my mom's advice and he never did it again. Planned a food fight that turned into a riot with property damage and then fled from the police. At a high school near me 20 years ago, the senior class decided to have a food fight at lunch. Our last day of classes 1 year turned into a riot with the school locked down for the whole afternoon. Kids frantic on cell phones even then with their parents because they had no clue why this was happening. And the state police and about 20 other local law enforcement agencies deployed to the school. The school expelled 12 of the graduating seniors. Very difficult to do for a public school, but not impossible, and barred about the same amount of others from taking part in graduation. I think this was my high school in CA. The vice principal got hit in the head with an apple while trying to break up the riot. The worst part is that I missed the whole thing because I was at the dentist. Him and his cousin beat up the deputy principal and tried to kill him with a spade. At school, no charges ended up being laid. Later went on to kill a tourist during the 2000 New Year's and dump his body in the harbour. Edit. Brothers not cousins memory is a little hazy after 23 years. I personally didn't know them, but knew enough to stay away from them. They were known for being trouble kids. Our art teacher stopped the attack. He's a hero in my opinion. Well done sleuths for finding the articles. He sprayed another student with Zippo fluid and was attempting to set the student on fire when he was tackled. I had a friend at my private school who got asked to take a year off, spent that year at a private military school, shaping up. Told us later that one thing that helped him do that was learning that what he had done to get there was nothing compared to what some of his classmates did. One kid had, at a boarding school, locked another kid in his dorm room with tons of paper, then lit the paper on fire as a joke, sold dried parsley as weed. Downloading adult videos on the school computers was the last straw. He even used his own login. My school gave out netbooks to every student for $100 a year, getting to keep them if we paid the $400 for all 4 years. I wasted no time using mine for adult videos at home. About halfway through freshman year, I had to submit it for debugging because I was loaded with viruses to the point that it was practically bricked. When I got it back, the tech advisor gave me a knowing look and told me to be more considerate with school property. That tech advisor fled the state a couple months later after stealing $3 million from the district, peeing on a teacher who wouldn't let him go to the bathroom. A girl changed her tampon in the corner of the classroom to prove a point. She was suspended pending expulsion, but her dad was a lawyer. A week later, any girl who wanted to use the bathroom was allowed, no questions asked. Fast forward 2 months, and guys were getting pissed that we couldn't use bathrooms either. So one guy got denied a bathroom 3 times in the 90-minute class. He walked up and peed in the trash can. He was expelled. I guess he missed the parts where you need lawyer parents. My senior year, there was this kid that asked to use the bathroom. The teacher told him no, and he responded, "I'm going to the bathroom." I just asked as a courtesy and left to go to the bathroom. Nothing happened to him. That was the moment that radicalized me law. He kept being caught engaging in intimate activities. In the gymnastic room, they literally had cameras in the room, and he kept bringing girls there between classes. Got caught like 5 times before he got expelled. He made a bomb threat online. Most of the school skipped out the day he did, because they didn't want to blow up. I was one of the poor souls with no social media, so I came into school, not knowing there was a frickin' bomb threat. I also had a mom who was unfazed and just told me, "You'll be fine. Go to class." When I called her, I didn't learn until the next day that he had been apprehended and expelled. What scared me was I knew him 4 years, and he never seemed like the kind of person to go that far. He was a class clown, but I never thought he would take that as even a joke. Apparently, he did have a bomb, but it thankfully never made it to the school grounds. I cannot even imagine telling my kid to not worry about a darn bomb threat and to just stroll right into the building. What the heck? Tackled and restrained by coaches after he grabbed a bat from the storage room with the intention of beating his pregnant math teacher with it. Similar story. In 3rd grade, one kid who was known to have anger issues got incredibly mad at a pregnant teacher and threw a desk at them. The baby was thankfully okay, and student was expelled and taken multiple states away to a corrective school. Kindergartner, long list of threatening behaviors. Foster kid with every kind of past abuse told me he was going to shoot himself and then come shoot me. I refrained from pointing out his lapse in logistics. That situation is awful for everyone. Anyone who abuses kids should be locked away forever. Playing kickball in gym class, kid kicked his shoe off and his bag of weed came flying out right to the teacher's feet. I was in the theater department back in high school. One day at the beginning of our acting class, the teacher came in and told us all to sit down. This one kid sat in the middle of the front row, and as he took his seat, his glass weed pipe fell out of his pocket and clattered to the floor. Everyone is silent for a moment. Then the teacher just goes, "All right, I'm gonna go out in the hallway for 30 seconds. Then I'm gonna come back in and we'll try this again." Walked out. Walked back in 30 seconds later like he said. Saw that the pipe was no longer in evidence, and class proceeded like normal, or as close to normal as theater classes ever get. Look man, if you started kicking kids out for smoking weed, there wouldn't be a theater department left. Happened in kindergarten. There was a kid named Dexter who had severe anger issues. Every day a small group of kids would get certain jobs to do around the classroom, such as line leader, table cleaner, etc. Dexter got the table cleaner position and he was absolutely livid. Since he wanted to be line leader, What started off as a screaming fit escalated into him throwing scissors around the class, biting the teacher's hand, shattering a window with his flying scissors, breaking the tank that housed the class gerbils, and just trashing the entire classroom. The rest of the students had to evacuate the class. While the teacher and principal attempted to restrain him, security had to get involved. Never saw him again after that day. Guy grew up doing Muay Thai, boxing and wrestling, forgot where he was during a wrestling match and threw a spinning back fist that knocked his opponent clean out. He was completely mortified once he realized what he did. Straight A student, star athlete, and genuinely good guy. The class president even addressed it and organized protests and walkouts until he was reinstated. Even the guy that got knocked out and his parents forgave him and supported us. He did get reinstated, but wasn't allowed to wrestle or box anymore. Not sure what the coaches pulled to allow him to play football. He eventually quit football to his senior year and was never really the same. Looks like he got his martial arts mixed up. Walked out of English class to talk to another kid in the hall. The teacher was real lax, so she didn't care he walked out to talk to this guy. Fight breaks out in the hall. Teacher runs out. Other teachers come help break up the fight. One teacher asks the kid that walked out class why they were fighting, and he said he stole my weed. Kid who left class was selling, and the kid in the hall tried to walk off without paying. Any other ridiculous excuse would have just got him suspended. Thought he was funny and decided to grab the SRO, Student Resource Officer's gun. Our SRO also happened to be part of SWAT. He did this as we all left end of day, crowded hall. I remember this vividly over 20 years later. This was also post-Columbine by like a month. Kid got slammed into a wall, put in cuffs, arrested, and expelled immediately. How he thought that was funny is beyond me. Thinking back to some of my friends during my teenage years, I 100% could see one of them being dumb enough to do this. Kids that age love pushing every boundary, but lack so much understanding about consequences. He stabbed another kid with a letter opener he made in shop class. We didn't make letter openers in shop class after that. Edit. This was in junior high in the mid-90s. You reminded me of the time a different kid got expelled for writing fanfic about kidnapping and torturing the cheerleading team, for spraying the fire extinguisher in the principal's face after he called him short. Share your stories of school exclusions that you know in the comments below, and also watch the following video where people who have encountered aliens tell what it was like. And don't forget to subscribe.